glass, but now they're all plastic. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
You ever play Edward 40 Hands?
You will next week.
Oh, do we not? No? Question mark?
No.
Is that our next enemy? Is that what you're saying?
No. You all wake up in the tavern with 40s attached to your hands.
Would you like to play a game?
Is there a Saw campaign? Can we do that?
Wasn't that just Tomb of Horrors or Mad Mage?
Tomb of Horrors.
Tomb of Horrors was a different campaign. I got a tomb full of horrors and a bitch ain't one. Hit me
I got 99 problems, but a lich ain't one.
today.
Real quick though, watching that Wayne Brady and Mark Riboulet go at it, dude, that was despise.
Dude, one of the happiest the happiest I've ever been to look at my feed, see Wayne Brady, and I'm like, who is Mark Riboulet?
I need to see this.
Whew, it was so good. I'll link it in the chat for later.
Okay.
For now, I want you guys to recap. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna roll. That's how I do. I'm the DM. I know how this works.
Taking Daniel's sim away from him.
My note is literally 3 sentences today.
You guys took notes?
I think I got good. Okay.
I don't know where those are.
Wow. You are artist today.
I know that I was scaring the other guys last week. We fought a big spider thing with its head was all. I didn't like it. We also were fighting zombies back there. The kitty guy almost died. I remember that.
Yep.
Umla was really scared about that. That's all I can really remember. Fighting that thing. As soon as you put that thing on the screen, I just remember not cool.
Guns are a thing.
I actually thought it was very cool, but
no, it is super cool. But I was like, I don't want to fight that.
Seemed like the general reaction from the whole team, like, trees, zombies, these guys. Everyone's like, nah, dude.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, fuck this forest. Fuck everything in it.
Trees everywhere, trees.
Yeah.
What was that, Acacio?
All the NPCs survive.
All of the NPCs survived, barely.
Great success.
He is very close to death. Very, very close to death. Can anybody provide more detail?
Please help.
Was there anything anybody missed, or?
He died, but not really, because he.
I thought he died. Well, he did die, and then rolled a crit on his death saving throw, so he's back barely.
He lives.
Crab spider samurai, bought with 4 faces. Massive cuck shows up, and we fight. Not enough.
That's about the
pretty much sums it up for
a fair extent.
Yeah.
A couple notes you guys obviously missed. He's wielding this entity entered your vision in a crab like walk, like he could only walk sideways, wielding 4 swords that appear to be of similar make to that executioner's greatsword you found. 4 masks frame a lumpy head in the cardinal directions, one of an elf, a halfling, a human, and a dwarf. It seemed to respond to either the noise or some noise of combat. You guys were fighting zombies, which you assume to have come from the white hanging tree that you guys decided to avoid. Yeah, that's about the extent of it. So we left off. It is still the deep of night. You guys have not yet taken a long rest or benefited of one. The hulking creature lays. it kind of it as it died, it like kind of slumped backward. Its frame was essentially propping itself up from being able to fall completely backward onto itself. Its arms, like its stone crackled, like fleshy texture skin is like crackling, and you can feel or you can hear its body tensing, and some of the skin cracks and flakes away from the damage it's taken as it like kind of curls in on itself. Not quite like a spider, but it just seems to tense in like sudden rigor mortis. All four of its swords are just laying about. The fire it fell upon is snuffed out instantly as it kind of like slumps back onto it. It is immobile. Some of your bedrolls are caught beneath it. But what would you guys like to do?
Who's hurting the most out of us right now? Not the NPCs.
I'm at about half. Yeah.
But
He tore me in half.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm at half health, but
I seem to be okay.
Should I?
Yeah, you were fine.
Should I cast Healing Word on you?
I mean, I could do it on myself, but if you'd want to, you can.
I mean, we were finishing a long rest, right? When we got attacked. Or in the middle of one. Yeah?
That's correct.
So, I mean, we could just finish resting.
Would we actually finish resting though, like fully? Or would
Assuming we don't get attacked again.
Well, that's what I mean. We were attacked in the middle of the night resting. Would we actually go back to resting? That's the thing.
We'll have to restart.
Not, then, yeah, we'd have to restart essentially.
I still think it's worth it.
We would need like a full 8 hours though. We only fought for like 60 seconds.
I would allow for maybe, let's say, because there was some injury bandied around for some of you, it may take a little longer to get the full rest. Some of you may only require like 4-ish hours. I would say at this point, I think it was about 3 hours into your rest that this kind of happened, or if I'm recalling wrong. No, Wilkin would have achieved a full rest at this point already. I don't recall if we used your action surge. You may have to rest to regain that back, but we lost somebody in Discord, and then and they're back.
It's James.
James didn't like that we used his action surge,
James
apparently.
You did use it.
Use my action surge.
It seemed necessary at the time. So yeah, some of you may need a longer rest than others, but it won't be a full 8 hours.
Then yeah, I'll go ahead and just cast Healing Word on Bud there.
All right.
Okay.
Um.
Don't even know what it did there. Oh, there you go. So
It healed you for yeah.
3.
He already applied the healing, and he's good to go.
Nice. So yeah, there you go.
Flashy animation and everything.
Bonus. No. All right. That's all I'm doing at the moment. Like, here you go, kitty guy. And I heal him a little bit, and I walk back over. And actually, where's he and Boar and all of them?
So Boar, and Graham are here huddled around the fire. Boar is Boar is like seriously wounded, like blood everywhere, but he's waving off Graham, who's attempting to bandage him up, and he's pointing to like, heal him up first.
I go stand over Boar, and I look at him dead in his eyes, and I'm just like, you didn't die this time, guy, but maybe next time, yeah? Oh, we're here. We're still alive today. We might die tomorrow, and he might go away. And I walk off. And I actually go and check up on
Zoom is also there, and he's just like, oh my god, I didn't know we were gonna die.
Umlau, as you walk away, you hear, maybe you'll kill yourself with your own spell next time.
Maybe, mate, but I'll most likely float away first.
But yeah, Graham is now tending to a very heavily wounded who's got this big old gash across his throat that was ripped out by a zombie. And he's mostly just kind of like prone, just kind of like clutching his throat. And
Oh, and I do cast Healing Word on he, clutching his throat.
Okay, sure.
When I walk away, yeah, I'll go ahead and give him that.
This seems like very Leonardo DiCaprio from The Revenant.
I never saw that one.
Oof.
Okay,
Good
never mind.
Never saw The Revenant? Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
I've only
Stop.
seen
We
the
have
one
to watch it
scene.
right
Yeah.
now. Just kidding.
I
The
knew it
only
was a
scene
good
in the
movie, but
I watched it twice in a row. It was such a good movie. I was like, oh, I gotta see it again right now.
right now, NAW,
Yeah.
NAO. Can you
Now,
target and heal he for me?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to open
Nay.
those.
Would anybody else like to do anything?
I was going to say, Paz,
This.
you should identify the great sword that we found that looks like these ones.
Of course.
If it is of use, then we can collect these ones as well. Also, we should investigate this monster further, see if we can find out more information.
I agree with that assessment.
Is also interested in the corpse.
Yeah,
Hopefully
looking
enough to heal his neck wound so he's not clutching it.
That is certainly. Oh, hang on.
Sorry.
Wrong. No, you probably can't see the names. It's the wrong guy, but I will apply the healing to the right person.
I apologize.
Yeah, your magic kind of washes. Like, what does your magic look like when you heal?
When I do that, it kind of looks like I'm airbending almost a little bit, just like a wash of like wind. Yeah, but you know, it's just it's not as smooth. Yeah, it's more disco-ish. Yeah, like that.
Oh, I was joking because that's totally
I'm enjoying
airbending.
these.
So you do like a bunch of hip thrusts. The arm comes out, and he travels.
Yeah,
over
when
and
I'm
like,
totally
"Ow!"
yes, to the NPCs when I'm healing them, yeah, like I'm doing one of those, like I'm just fucking around healing them. But to like us, it's always it's very smooth.
Okay. So yeah, Boar watches like kind of the magic coalesce as you're like, hip thrusting and dancing around and like and you watch just
It's
kind of
like breathe, guy, you can do it, yeah.
you watch some of the skin knit back together and his chest reinflate and he's like and he like, spits up this like big glob of like blood and ichor.
My sister did that once, mate. The doctor said she would have been fine now. But I don't know.
He's thank you anyway.
Don't thank me, mate. Thank the guy who was bitching about it. And I walk away.
Boar just smirks. Okay, so what would you guys like to do? I haven't done it in this way in a while, but I'll just go around the horn. So we'll say Umlau is occupied at the moment. Dreek, what would you like to do? Sounds good. Okay. Okay. So you're on the watch for more creatures. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Hey Ross, real quick, RJ says he can't hear you on your stream.
Oh no.
Can you hear everyone?
Yeah, everything else is coming through.
There we go. You should hear me now.
Silent stream.
I didn't check the little bar wasn't happening.
Yeah.
You can hear me now. I am hiding between these two in case anything happens with my bow drawn. I am not getting attacked. They will get hurt first.
All right, that's a.
Be careful where you point that thing.
That's
I
actually
just love how
pretty
he's
smart.
just narrating what
Just
he's
duck.
doing.
Just duck.
It is I, Dreek in the dark.
I speak in the third person.
Don't step over there. I just shat in that corner.
I don't
All
believe
right.
in toilets.
We'll go from left to right on my screen. Acasio, what would you like to be doing?
I rolled a nature check to, I don't know, try to investigate this monster a bit to see if I could determine anything about it, I suppose.
Sure. So with a 14, what you observed in combat was that it seemed to operate in a, I don't know if there's an actual word for this, but kind of like tank-like motions, right? So it would walk sideways and have to turn to face you guys. With a nature like that, you also imagine that it's, and Zoom can confirm this for you, the way that its arms move look like it's got blind spots on its sides. Like it can attack in front and behind it, but would struggle to attack sideways. To
Is
you.
that why you couldn't see me?
That's exactly why you couldn't. As far as nature goes, you also determine with a 14 you can deduce that its stone skin likely provides it some natural armor. But given how flaky it is, it likely wouldn't help it in the long term if as exposed to repeated abuse.
Cool. So it breaks.
Yeah, it essentially flakes away. It's kind of like shale or slate, something like that. It's not quite like knitted or natural, like scales on a creature or anything like that. It seems like it, when introduced to trauma, it will break away. In those spots where its stonish skin is broken away, you see this like flesh-like material, which is red and sinuous, like a humanoid's would be. Let me think. What else can I tell you? Yeah, with the 14, that's about it, unless you have any other specific questions. But yeah, it's as I'm thinking about it more, its arms and legs seem to share one each of different physiology as well. They're enlarged in some cases to kind of fit its size, but you see kind of like proportion traits based off of the four races. One is a stockier, more muscular arm. The other is more sinuous and lithe, like an elf. One is obviously enlarged, as though like a halfling's arm was blown up into a large scale. So it's like a stocky, shorter arm that's like now. It looks unnatural how long it is proportionally. And then a regular human arm, which actually seems to fit best, but has quite a bit of and has a bit of burn, like a burnish texture to it. Not burnish, rather. Has a burn scar looking texture to it on the human arm.
I guess my main question is what I was inquiring on the Ur chat was if we could determine if this is a awakened creature or if this is a sinborn creature.
Well, that leads me right into Zoom. I guess you guys are. Well, Zoom, what would you like to be doing?
I was gonna start inspecting the body of this thing to see if there's anything edible that I could take from it.
Sure.
Is it eatable?
So you have your experience with awakened creatures and various monsters of the wood, and wild. However, your scar did not ail you with this creature. It's not uncommon for there to be creatures that don't elicit this reaction, but it's specific to awakened creatures. This one didn't. You look, you kind of like start flaking away some of the skin, and you can see some like muscly leg meat there that you could cook, but it bears some resemblance to humanoid meat.
Sort of my.
Yeah, so it's a bit off-putting, in that you could be carving up a corpse here shortly. It's not a big stretch.
And it probably doesn't look very like well preserved. Is it an
Roll a medicine check for me?
Are we able to tell if it is this like an undead thing? Like, or is this I mean like it kind of obviously kind of looks some type of horrible shit, but is it necromancy or is it like I guess I'm asking Foz.
You ask such interesting questions. Zoom with your Zoom with your 11, you can't quite tell if this body has been preserved in any way. If it's been subjected to embalming or any kind of like preservation of fluids or whatnot. But you would know just from the number of creatures that you've butchered over time that this was a living creature. It bears resemblance to living creatures that have freshly died. If you were to remove its leg, it would likely bleed in its last in the body's last throes of life.
I don't like it. But, okay. Yeah, my sword didn't. I do remember my sword didn't. The corpse slaying sword or whatever.
That's
didn't
correct.
respond to it.
With its bonus of against undead, it didn't. You didn't feel its magic take effect in that way.
So I'm just like, Foz, do you know what this thing might be?
I do not believe so, but let me take a look.
What would you like?
I would, just do kind of like a cursory glance just to see if I can answer Zoom's question. But I would like to identify the. So first, I would like to cast Detect Magic ritually to determine if the other swords that it were wielding are magical.
Okay.
And then after that, I will identify the great sword that I currently have that we were waiting on that Acasio mentioned. And then if the other sword...
We already identified that one. That was an Executioner's Greatsword.
Okay,
Zoom is already wielding it.
Oh, okay.
And it has a bonus against undead.
Then I will not do that.
But you may ritually cast Detect Magic. How long does that take to cast?
What? Hold, please. It's whatever Detect Magic takes.
Eat the popsicle.
One action.
You want it.
It is 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Fair enough. You mentioned a cursory glance at this creature. Is there like what were you looking for exactly?
Just to see, because Zoom was asking, like if I knew what it was, just if I've heard of creatures like this before, or anything like that.
You'll have to sell me on a skill on that one. That's pretty vacuous and vague.
Right.
You narrow your search. Give me some parameters.
Like creatures that are kind of encased in this sort of stone-like substance before that possibly have multiple limbs or not, but just from studies into creatures.
If you're looking for creatures, roll a nature check.
Okay. Whoop.
With a 15, you know of some creatures that use their natural terrain as armor and camouflage. You've heard of like rock crabs and various other earthy burrowing creatures that are able to, or that either secrete some kind of fluid that allows the earth to stick and harden to their carapaces as they burrow through the earth and things. This is a bit different. You imagine it doesn't quite match a natural phenomenon that you can think of. Just at a glance, this looks like an imitation of skin versus armor. The fact that it is stone seems to be coincidental more than anything else.
Does not seem like any natural creature I have researched. Possibly manufactured in some way? Very curious.
And we will say that you begin casting Detect Magic. Wilkin and Bud, what would you guys like to do?
Eating this dead horse. To say inspecting this corpse.
I thought you said eating this dead horse.
That's if we go back to Zoom's
Someone
hometown. If we didn't eat it already.
I guess I'd be most interested in the stone skin. From a blacksmith's eye or an armorer's eye, I suppose.
What would you prefer to roll? A survival check or a smith tools check to see what you can do with this? Are you proficient in survival in any way, or?
Yes,
yeah,
I am.
Let's go with survival.
Let's do it.
Whisk. Maybe he won't.
So this material comes away and kind of you try and like cut down its leg and like along its like muscles and stuff. But as like if the piece gets too long, it breaks and snaps away. It feels like you're having trouble trying to get a sheet of anything.
Sounds like brittle.
It's a little brittle, it seems. You're trying to think like you can collect fragments of it, and these fragments can be almost like flint. They've got like sharpish edges, but it's nothing quite like iron or steel. You're not sure if you can. It may be able to be applied creatively. You can get a bunch of like pieces of it, but you can't get like a big sheet of it or anything.
Right.
So, but it does have the texture and hardness of stone, but probably not the durability of it.
It would serve as like arrowheads.
Possibly.
I'll keep a few chunks.
All right. How much? And it flakes away easily, so you can collect any amount you'd like, or that you can carry.
Right.
How much are you looking to hold?
Like, let's just say like a pound worth.
All right. Add a pound of flaky amalgamation stone flesh to your inventory. Dreamed of. You were cut off in the end. What was he dreaming of?
Oh no, I say what I've always dreamed of.
Oh, I see.
That's it.
Pop wet. Pop wet.
That just leaves you, Bud. What would you like to be doing?
I'd be checking around, trying to see if any of these lovely friends of mine need to be healed at all.
Well, as far as injury goes, looks like your friends Umlau, Zoom, and yourself, and a bit of Dreek have taken minor injuries. The crew that has been traveling with you, Boar, he, and Graham have sustained the most injury. Boar being the most, and Graham being the least.
How much of those guys been healed yet?
He has been healed for 4, pretty much taken off of death's door. Boar is at literal 1 HP.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go up to Boar. Let's see.
He is this guy.
Sorry, I had my sheet over. Got it. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was Boar. Anyway.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
I thought you said he is this guy, but
oh no,
I don't know if you meant he or he is in the pronoun.
Boar is him.
Oh, this is
I am you.
I'm trying to be culturally inclusive, and the pronouns are fucking this up.
It's all gone terribly wrong.
You should just use they, them.
I should use the Korean pronouns. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
No, they and them died when the ship went down.
Oh, right. But wait.
That was his brother.
Oh shit.
Or Dee's
brother.
sister.
I know a guy named Wee.
Do you really?
Plays on the Asian guy football team.
Oh well, okay.
Everyone calls him.
What
Everyone calls him.
We played football the other day.
Actually, he's actually pretty good.
I knew it
He's
was
actually all right.
an Asian name, but I've never actually met anybody named We.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see some of their names. It's pretty. I'll leave it at that.
All right, as you do.
Yeah, I'll approach him and get down on one knee and kind of rub my
Lick his tip.
rub my big paws together and my friend, you don't look so good. Would you like a little bit of the healing light? As I'm massaging my paws together and there's like a light forming between them.
He looks like he's on the verge of passing out, but he just says, "Fine."
I'll pass.
Just put one finger on it.
Nah.
And both hands together, and I place them on his chest. Hold please.
I'm recalling now. He uses half orcish last stand feature. He got knocked out and came back with 1 hit point.
Yeah. 9 health.
9 health it is.
Fill him with my love and light.
What does your healing magic look like in comparison to Umlau's?
Very much more of like a I'd like to say it's more of like a glittery, sparkly, wispy golden light that comes forth from me.
All right. So whereas Umlau's kind of flows and stitches back together, yours is kind of this all-encompassing light that just kind of coalesces around his wounds and we'll say gathers up towards his chest in like in a radial pattern. And you can watch things kind of just seeming like closing back up as they arrive. He gains his hit points. He says, "Thank you, friend."
Don't mention it. And I help him up.
And as you help him up, and as you turn to leave, he like grasps your forearm and he says, If the air one dies, I wouldn't be sad. You keep him away from us.
If the which one dies?
Your air friend dies.
I'm kind of like, can I insight that? Is that more of like he doesn't like elemental beings, or is it?
You can roll an insight, sure.
Is Boar? I just healed your ass. Goddamn racist against elementals out here.
I am dying over here. That is fucking great.
With a 22, it's not like he's not racist against elementals per se. He does not like Umlau. Yeah. To the point where you get the impression that if he were given an option, he would probably kill Umlau.
Oh. Okay.
Like he's borderline threatening Umlau and letting you know about it.
Got it. I can make sure that he never bothers you again, dear friend. Just as long as you watch my back, I'll watch yours. And I kind of slide on back and go quickly over and to Umlau, put a paw on his shoulder. Stay clear of that one. He doesn't like you.
Which one, mate?
Boar, the bald one.
Oh, you mean the
Don't
guy
talk
that
to
almost died?
Yes, and I just
like-
saved him.
I say it like super loud. The guy who couldn't hold his shit together. Yeah, that guy. I sing a song about an orc who doesn't know how to fight right.
Was that Beauty and the Beast? We killed a creature he's never seen before.
As Umlau is singing this, Foz is just kind of lean over to Dreek and be like, I don't need to see the future to know that this is going to end poorly.
I could have told you that myself.
Or looks at the point of like exploding at this point.
I change my cloak to red, and then I just keep walking.
All right. So unless you guys have anything else you would like to do, I will skip over to Foz. We'll skip the 10 minutes of your 10 minutes and 6 seconds of your detect magic. You detect no magic in these great swords. They bear a likeness to the one that Zoom is holding, but don't seem to have an enchantment like his does. They also are missing the, like, as you're spending time with each, they don't, none of them have the inscription that Zoom's does either. So
These ones wielded by the creature are simply facsimiles. Zoom possesses the real one.
but they are real steel.
Yeah. I've no doubt that they are real swords, seeing as they were used to almost kill a bunch of people.
My pause was because I watched.
Yeah.
I was on Netflix yesterday, and Real Steel was on there. I was like,
Wait a
yeah.
second.
Anyway, but there are, so the only other magical objects in the vicinity are on your friends, or on your person, or the masks on the creature.
Oh, okay. I would take
They
a
all
closer look at those then.
They all possess a detect magic gives you the school of magic, right?
Yes, it does.
They all have an
Let me check
essence
that.
of abjuration magic on each, except for one. The halfling mask bears a illusory effect as well.
The masks on the creature are magical, however.
What would you like to do?
I mean, why not? Let's take a closer look. Does it look like they have any mechanisms to be removed aside from lopping off the heads? Is it 4 heads like merged to one into like a single like totem pole, like one face on each side thing, but there's still one unit? Or is it like
I mean, you
4
should mention
separate
it.
heads?
It is very much a totem pole like effect,
Okay.
where it is a
So like the picture.
cylindrical, fleshy head that has protrusions on the cardinal sides.
Okay.
The roundness of the like the masks run right up to each other. They like in the picture I shared with you. Each mask is like right up against the next, corner to corner, but aren't fused together. The
top like the picture now.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And there's just a round, bald, lumpy head beneath. The masks are. They don't seem to be placed onto a face. They're like fused to the face.
So it's not just like,
yeah, it may take some removal.
Serious butchery.
Right.
To remove. Yeah, in that case.
But the masks themselves are not connected, though.
Okay. I will relay that and let the others do with it as they will.
Zoom volunteers to butcher it because he knows how to. He's got his culinary knives, and he takes it. He's like, "I can do it."
If you feel so inclined.
Hang on
You said
one sec.
they're magical. They're not like gonna blow me up or anything, right?
That doesn't seem terribly likely. Let's see, abjuration. That's like protection, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there is a possibility, but doesn't seem terribly likely.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go butcher.
Sounds good. Okay, so
Fireball.
For the size of this creature, each mask is about the size of your torso. It's about that big. Maybe we'll say like 2 feet tall each. Even the halfling mask, which not proportionate to a halfling at all. I will describe each as you begin carving them off. Which would you like to start with? The dwarf, the halfling, The human or the elf?
Roll for it.
Roll for it!
The elf was the fourth one, I think.
The elf was the fourth one. You, we'll say this is the one closest to the ground on the opposite side near where Kazdae is. The elfin mask is a regal and princely face. The expression, like you kind of lift the head a little bit to kind of get a look at this thing. Its expression looks upon you as though it appears to be judging you. And it even in death and this like stoic facsimile of a face, it still seems to hold enough expression and artistry that it seems to be judging you and assessing your worthiness, and looking upon you, not with a sneer per se, but it seems to be calculating in its look, such as the detail and its artistry. But you, like the mask goes all the way around to I'd say about like behind the ears, and a bit of the neck. So you begin carving through, getting underneath the metal and carving around. And as you peel away the mask, with a tug, you pull it away, and just a blank, smooth surface. There are no features underneath. Simply, like what I would call scar tissue, essentially underneath.
It's like when you skin your kneecap after falling off your bike.
It looks like a poorly healed wound. It looks like a very poorly healed wound.
Like my tattoo.
Well, they can be removed. Zoom, if you would allow me, I will identify that.
Yeah, I toss it over and just
guessing
start on
what-
the next one.
It's like getting a big, like it's big, it's heavy, and made of like some sort of metal. So roll an athletics check.
Can I just step to the side and let it fall?
Sure.
I'll do that instead. Fuzz, old bones ain't ready for that kind of stuff.
Zoom, roll me an athletics check to see how hard you threw it.
Not very
Okay.
hard.
So he knows exactly.
back.
He knows exactly who you are, Foz. And it goes, huh, thump, and it just kind of like, it rocks a bit, and like kind of rocks back.
Thank you.
And yeah, I just
how
start
long-
on.
How long for identify?
11 minutes, I believe.
All right, sounds good.
Casting time 1 minute. Yeah, 11 minutes. So
I've got 3 left: dwarf, halfling, and human. Zoom.
We'll go dwarf next.
The dwarf is not the stereotypical dwarf of your imagination. It's a heart-shaped face with a neatly trimmed goatee. Its high cheeks and round face give it a cherub-like appearance, despite the beard. Though a tragically sad smile graces its face, tragically sad smile belies what appears to be an otherwise happy face. And as you carve around this one, similarly, beneath it is nothing but scar tissue. We'll say this one is on the opposite side. So it's like you have to crawl onto its chest to get this one out.
Yeah, and then now that I have like 2 halves on the other side, I'll see if I can just like Hulk rip open the other 2 or something at the same
Roll an
time.
athletic check then.
You just ripping faces off.
Yeah, that's happening. Sure, I'll allow that. So you grab hold of both and just kind of pull like you're opening a doorway or something, and you just it's much less clean. And whereas like I wouldn't say that you're carving up these faces was like a surgical procedure before. There was a little bit of blood. Now it's just like you see there's just like this spray of leftover life essence as you remove these masks from the flesh. They didn't seem to be they were attached in some way, but not like a piece of this creature per se. We'll start with a human. It's a rather androgynous face. Their sharp features give you pause, thinking you've taken a look at the elf face, but you've already removed that one. What draws your eye most is a large burn scar that travels up the neck and chin, covering a majority of the ear and back, and like travels back into its hairline. So it like kind of does a burn like this, which kind
on
of
the mask or
on the mask. The mask depicts this scar, as well as the flesh beneath. You can see while it is a still seamless or a featureless, not even face, it's just kind of a blank space. There are still those scars that kind of travel up in that way, and you see it on the arm closest to it, kind of catty corner to this mask. Also bears these burn scars all along its arm and part of its torso. Lastly is the halfling mask, grim-faced and scarred. This mask scowls at you as you kind of like look at the mask. This expanded in size to match the proportions of the enormous head. One eye of the mask is sealed shut, with the image of a small sun emblazoned in fine detail, like kind of a relief in its eye, like where the pupil would be.
Interesting.
Just curious, did that line up with one of the blind spots?
Yes, in this case it did. But it's the only it's the only mask that has that feature on it. All the other eye holes are empty. Like, or you could see through. Would anybody else like to be doing anything at this point?
I mean, yeah. Me,
Well,
I'd just be
Zoom is
identifying stuff as Zoom is adding to the pile.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll say this is going to take, a fair amount of time. So if the rest of you would like to do something, now's the time. But nothing is also an acceptable answer. I was just curious.
I am kicking it.
Yeah, I'm kicking it.
Sounds good.
Ready to finish this rest, yeah.
I'm still paranoid and aiming my arrow for any attack.
That's a fair point. With your perception, you hear nothing, except for the crackling of your the fire, your campfire. Like,
I'm suspicious of something, but it might just be the fire. I'm not sure.
You can also hear some of the flesh kind of sizzling underneath the creature in the embers of this fire, but otherwise it seems like the forest is mostly quiet.
Do I smell it?
Yeah. It smells a bit of pork. It's a bit of a for you as a lizard folk, it's an enticing smell.
I smell something delicious. It might be that giant body sizzling over there.
Salted pork.
Yeah, like one of the legs is still in like where the fire was snuffed out, and it's like the embers are still cooking around it, we'll say. So then Foz, as you cast identify, as Zoom, like it takes more time for Zoom to carve the masks off than it takes for you to identify. So as you cast identify on the first mask, the elfin mask being the first, you realize that these have, or you imagine that they have some sort of like blessings upon them. The abjuration magic appears to be religious in nature, like a priest or cleric bless this mask. There is no spell per se that's applied to this mask. It's just a generic blessing that's placed upon it. So in effect, nothing that you can tell.
Okay.
But it does read as magical still. So similarly, as the dwarf mask comes in, same thing. But now that you've got two counterpoints, it seems like the two may have been even placed under the ceremony spell, we'll say. They hold different significance, but the same warm kind of like the magic feels like you're standing in direct sunlight. Which tracks from your limited knowledge from, if I'm remembering your roles correctly, of Lathander, being the Dawn Lord and such. The magic seems to exude a warmth that would track with what you assume of the Dawn Lord. The third mask comes in as the human, same thing. With 3 counterpoints, you now know that like all 3 hold some sort of all 3 were blessed in different ways, maybe at different times over the years, like of decades or more. But the last and most recent blessing to be cast on them was a burial rite.
Okay.
And the fourth is the halfling mask, the one that holds the illusory school of magic as well. Similar to all the other 3, it seems to hold like kind of like milestones of life. There's a ceremony for marriage, a blessing for what you can assume like some sort of like not fertility, but like a blessing of long life, a blessing for, you know, parenthood or guidance, and then finally a blessing of burial. But it bears all of this and a curse as well. Your identify spell returns as a mask of memory.
Okay.
And like they're layered enchantments here with the blessings of Lathander. And this curse, you can tell when worn, the wearer of this mask will begin to feel a purpose. You're not entirely sure what the purpose is, but you can tell whoever wears the mask, their motives and goals will change to mask whoever bore the blessing.
To mask or match?
To match whoever was blessed while wearing the mask.
Okay.
I see.
In addition, while wearing the mask, you can see like the foci of the illusion is not on the sealed eye that's got the sun on it, but the open eye that you can see through. And through that eye, you could see through certain illusions of a certain school. Or rather, not so much a school, but a certain type of magic. Similar to the one that blessed this mask. If you have any questions, I'll recap. This is definitely not going to be in the DM guide or the player
Okay, so
handbook.
this is that was kind of my second question.
100%
Mask of memory. It sounded very magical enemy. Okay.
Well,
Mask of memory bears a curse where it begins to feel a purpose. Their motives and behavior change to match whoever was blessed by the mask. Through the open eye, you can see through illusions of a certain type of magic.
To match it matches the magic that blessed the mask.
Okay.
So you imagine that this mask could shrink to a certain degree and be worn if you wish. But it is cursed, so who knows what that means.
I assume I would be at least somewhat familiar with just the general complications that arise from
Roll an
just
Arcana
cursed
check
items
for
in
me.
general. Arcana. All right. Attributes. Do. Roll it. Maybe not.
With the 13, the most common of cursed objects are ones that cannot be removed.
Yeah,
The most common, either you're compelled to hang on to this item or unable to remove it at all.
Okay.
But that is not with a 13. You don't know everything about curses or what they mean. Like I said, these are common circumstances, but that does not apply to all. You know, you've heard of other esoteric curses that don't necessarily require the object, but you don't examples don't come to the forefront of your mind.
All right. This halfling mask could be worn, but it bears a curse. It will likely be difficult to remove should you choose to wear it. It will also change your motives and your behavior to fit whoever was the original bearer of this mask.
Oh, sorry. Also, on all 4 of the masks on the inside where the face would go is an inscription: devoted warriors in life, divine purpose in death. And all 4 of them have the same one.
Devoted warriors in life.
Divine purpose in death.
And
Need a white
the
book?
other masks don't do anything.
They were blessed
some
via
blessing.
the ceremony spell.
They
essentially.
possess something like that. They seem to hold some latent divinity magic. They're blessed. They seem to be blessed in some sort of ceremonial way, and they do possess some sort of protection or abjuration magic, but nothing specific. They mostly just bear the blessing of Lathander. I'll be right back.
All right.
Cool.
Great hunter has to poop.
Sames.
Okay, now I'm gonna try reloading
This
because
will be
for
a good
some
time to use
reason
the claw.
I don't know if my journal in Foundry is too long or something, but when I try to edit it, all the text disappears and I can't type in it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try reloading, see if that fixes it.
BRB.
Try this again. Journal. There we go. Okay, good.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Purple
Welcome
barbarian.
back. Yeah. I think I'd be more blue. I think Zoom's more blue.
Blue. Okay, well, I was just kind of going by. Where's your picture? Oh yeah, that's, oh yeah. I don't know where I got purple from.
It's because I'm blue and I have a red background.
Yeah, I guess so. Look at you with your color
You
theory.
just got color theory.
Oh, color wheels.
If anything, you're purple, Foz.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Right.
How did you? Oh, never mind.
Nope. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask how to change the portrait to Bill's art, but again,
I was gonna ask that. I forgot to ask that last time. Because
Well, the last time I tried that, it like reset all the webcams and network was an issue last time. So we're just gonna not do that right now.
There you
And you send me artwork later, and I'll freaking do it myself.
cool.
Although it would probably be fine now if you guys didn't have any connection issues this go around. It's probably all right, but I'll just scrub the processes every once in a while.
Garbage collector.
Is what I do. I'm friends with all of you. Ho!
Ooh, sick burn.
I'm calling Alaska. I'm canceling the flight.
Actually, he's a dick.
I'm more of a tick. You can't really get rid of me. It's just kind of like always there.
No, you shoot the tick with simple green and that stuns it, and then you remove it with tweezers and squish it.
We will be shooting you with
That-
Simple
that's
Green
like-
when you show up.
I didn't realize Simple Green was like the choice for it.
That's what my dad used on our dog all the time. It was like, oh yeah, it stuns him.
Okay.
Anyway,
So, Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
Rest.
Sleep.
Schlep.
Sleep.
Set a watch.
No.
Okay.
I'll have
take
my
a
familiar
watch.
do it.
We'll have the NPCs do it.
I set my familiar to do it because
The NPCs who are like on the brink of death. Like,
Thank you for your service.
I feel like this is Cutthroat bleeding through.
Listen, they killed more things than Oceanus has in weeks. Okay. He's so they're so useful. Who I heard multiple voices. Foz, you said you're familiar. Umlau, you said you were going to take a watch.
Yeah, I said I'll take first watch.
Vulcan doesn't need to rest anymore, right? Because he's already got his full rest.
He does need to be inactive
Yeah,
to
you're
regain
immortal.
his inactive. Actions are just long rests actually, so he does need a rest for that.
You don't need an action surge, right?
I appear inert, but I can see and hear as normal.
So yeah, you could be a lookout.
Our fighter's inert. Guys, the fighter's inert.
Vulcan's a nerd.
Found your,
That's an old meme. Jesus.
Such a
OG
nerd.
meme. God, look at you. Look at yourselves. Playing
landed
D&D. What a bunch of
Forest?
nerds.
Sherwood Forest landed on us.
Abe Lincoln. All right. So we'll say Umlau and Foz begin the watch. The rest of you manage to wrench your bedrolls out from underneath the amalgamation. Do you guys move this body or you just leave it there?
I'm just gonna use that as cover, honestly.
All right, fair enough.
I take my sleeping bag out from underneath it. It's like,
Yeah. Also, with this fire snuff, I don't know if it's actually going to reflect. I'm not seeing it on the stream. That's okay. All right. So yeah, I need perception checks from Umlau and Foz's owl.
I'm just gonna do a mini D&D.
Oh,
I will
almost a 2.
perception.
So close.
Oh, also with disadvantage if you don't have dark vision.
The owl does.
Something I keep forgetting to do.
Sorry.
It's like the best perception I'm ever
that's
gonna
fine.
roll.
I have
Well, your second roll seems to disagree.
You're not
At least I
wrong
rolled a
still.
15.
There we go. Sorry, just need to activate the plugin.
Not a problem. All right. So with 15 each,
Sorry, 18 for the owl.
right. The box number still throws me off. With an 18 and a 15, so yeah, you can mostly hear the creaking of the trees, and the light smolder of flesh of the creature upon your expired campfire. Neither of you hear the moans, groans, or rattling of chains of the zombies. Foz, your owl, I assume you're peering through the vision of your owl, right?
Yeah. Sure. If I'm actually on watch, then yes.
I assumed you were, unless you were just leaving him to watch and you were going to sleep.
No, I'll take a watch. It's fine.
Okay. As you peer through your owl's eyes, you can see more of the demonic-looking owls that watch your owl, your familiar, just ceaselessly. They continue to be unsettling. They are motionless, unnaturally still, but continue to watch. Otherwise, your watch passes without incident. Who do you wake for next watch?
I go to Wolkin.
Slap him on the back of the head.
I'm just like, hey, robot guy, it's your turn.
Let's wake up Drake.
I'm okay to interrupt. It doesn't have to be contiguous 6 hours, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not doing a so like for you because we were in combat and like use an action surge, we would need another 4 hours. But if you're not like doing anything across that 4 hours, then like semi-conscious or conscious for a watch is still considered less than light activity. So totally fine with it.
I'll grumble, but I'll pretend I'm awake.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even offer Umlau Faz. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about or do while you guys are
No, since he's in his owl, I can clearly see that he's in his owl.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just,
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of watch. I take out the crystal ball or whatever, and you can kind of see owl vision.
Next to watch.
2.0.
yeah, I'm just I'm looking at it and I'm just like, I know you can't hear me, old guy, but damn, you're old guy. And just continually watching.
And Falls will say, you know, if you say things within earshot of the owl, I can still hear you.
Oh my god! That's all I got.
amazing? Wilkin, you hear this too. Okay, Wilkin and Dreek. Both of you roll perception with disadvantage because neither of you have dark vision. So
I don't see anything.
I am the night.
Oh wait. Oh, my bad.
Would have been
Hold on.
cool.
Baby.
all good.
Aw.
Let me do.
Oh, that's good.
Let me do that again. I rolled with advantage. My bad.
Oh no, that's fine. I can take the lesser of two.
Oh. Yeah.
No, that totally works.
Wrong.
He's like, can I roll again
Much
though?
less.
Just again?
Please, pretty comparable. Dreek, to the edge of the firelight, nothing escapes your gaze. Where I would say you have vision is like still good. But aside from that, you're distracted mostly by the rising of the sun, essentially. The noise of the forest and sudden dim lights all around the forest distract you. They're just like erratically moving, wispy looking lights that begin appearing in the forest. Wilkin, I think you were the one that actually knew what this was before. They were like fey, will-o-wisp creatures and like fairies that were traveling through the forest. They seem to be. Oh yeah, Secret War. Next Marvel movie, 2022, Secret War.
It's okay.
Disney, yeah, I mean, we can make whatever the fuck we want now. We've got Disney Plus.
Exactly.
You see these lights begin appearing in the forest and know that day is coming. Essentially, they precede day. And the noise of the forest begins picking up. Birds begin awakening. At one point, Vulcan, you can see like a bunch of a bunch of owls just kind of flock away. They all fly out further into the forest from overhead.
I like point it for Drake to see, but I don't know if he sees him or not.
Oh, what are you pointing at? I can't tell. I see lights.
Nothing but the wind.
I feel
But
the wind.
What?
Your watch passes without incident. Would you guys like to do or say anything?
Try to sneak in some extra rest.
Don't let him rest, Streak.
Huh?
Don't let him don't let him rest.
Wake up, you robot.
I do not think we'll get along.
You're the only one who can see these lights. What are they? Ah. I thought it was perceptive.
Wisps.
Wisps. Ah. Blurry wisps. In the distance. I thought my lizard vision would help this.
Me too.
Apparently, whatever you're made of, they made some technology to see into the distance and recognize things better than a lizard man.
Perhaps you just stared too long into the fire.
You might be right. I thought I saw some creature from my past in the fire, and it might have done something to my eyes.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, the next 2 hours pass. Everyone begins to slowly awaken. Fuzz, you get the effect of a long rest. You've been awake a long time though, so it's kind of like.
Also, sleeping on rocks and roots.
Yep,
Oh, my
it's
back.
it is you had a long night, less sleep than usual, but you feel rested. Everyone benefits from a long rest.
Sorry, silly question, Matt. Apparently, I can't figure this out. How do I add custom items to my inventory?
It'll be easy. It'll be easier
you
to add
doing
it
it
into
on-
D&D Beyond.
Okay,
Just add it into
that's
D&D
what I was
Beyond,
doing.
and when we re-import your character, it'll show up
Okay.
eventually.
Good to know.
For those who don't remember, if you open your character sheet in Foundry, take a rest is up in the upper left.
A bed.
Bed.
Bed. It's a bed. It's the bottom left icon. Take a rest, and you click on the hourglass that says long rest on it.
The second one.
So
And now it's light out, yeah?
it is now light out. That's correct. Let me know if this works. Actually, I want to test something.
Just a sec. Just a sec.
2 sec.
Important rolls for the day.
Server no cares. man.
Fairly middling, actually.
No, those are like
Okay.
perfect for not too good, not too bad. 15 is pretty good. For those of you like Dreek, let me know what this does. Does that reveal everything for you? Doesn't look like it did. Okay.
Yeah. Negative.
Okay. Let me.
I don't see much. I still don't see much.
Oh.
It got
Oh,
darker.
you know what? Sorry, it should be back. So if I do this,
Yes.
Oh, wow! It's so. What happened? It's so bright. out
it's
here.
daylight. The sun came out. That's what happened.
Wow.
Okay.
I never.
So.
Oh, amazing.
So it should be blocking your view for the trees just because of line of sight, but otherwise you should be able to see into the cliff below, the flower field below, as well as everything else. I just wanted to double check and test that out.
Should it be like that for me, or am I experiencing what my character would see from his cataracts?
Is it still dark out for you?
Yes, all I see is the firelight.
Well, that's weird. That shouldn't be a thing. Hold, please. Actually, you know what? To save, for the sake of time,
Yeah, it's fine.
shoot me a message in Discord. I think I need to fix your token.
Okay.
It's probably working for dark vision, but apparently not for the daylight.
Anyway,
Who knew?
yeah, carry on.
All right. So,
Theater of the mind.
is there anything you guys would like to do when you guys first awaken? You guys expend a ration to eat. You guys relight your fires amidst the corpses of the zombies and such. Did you guys want to investigate the zombies? Out of curiosity?
I'll investigate one zombies.
All
right.
Can I join him? I'll join.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of you roll investigation checks.
Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
Knocks a 20 to a 13.
So
Dang
close.
Boy, that's a spectrum, isn't it? All right.
Yeah.
Dreek, you look at them, you're like, meat I can't eat. Just like they're zombies, right? They're corpses. They look like humanoids but stink of death.
Ugh. I'm not touching those.
Umlau. You kind of take in the whole demeanor of them. They're still like the corpse you're looking at looks like a female half elf. And the only reason you've got any kind of depiction as to who she is that like her height is within 5 to 6 feet. The mask, despite being iron and not gold like the other creature, is still highly detailed. You can see a lock on one side, as though it could use a key or something similar. The same details as before. She's dressed as though she was imprisoned for some time. She's not in squalor per se, or like she was in prison for a great deal of time. But her clothes look like she have been exposed to the elements. Her skin shows a bit of like wear, as far as like been in the sun, decaying for some time. However, she appears semi-fresh as far as the decay of body would go. She, like most of the corpses hanging in these trees, has a sign around her neck. And it just says
sign in.
It is signed in common.
Okay.
For this one, it says necromancer, practitioner of the darkest arts.
Okay. I look at the other corpses. Do they all have different signs? Do the signs say something different? Like this one says necromancer. Does the one next to her say something different? Like you said, they all have signs around their necks, right?
Yeah, they all vary.
Okay. What do the other ones say? I just want to know. I'm trying to piece. There's 4 of them.
So surrounding, like there are, just looking at the map, 8 zombies around you.
8. Okay.
One nearby, the one right next to you says witch on it.
Okay.
Another one says spy against the church. Another says heretic.
Okay.
There's one that says blasphemer. I'm just going around the horn, just like I imagine, like it's not hard to like look down and see their signs and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to make sure I have note of what these are saying, just in case. It looks like they've all committed some type of sin or something. They were necromancer, witch, spy, heretic, blasphemer. It all looks.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't really describe it.
So with a 20, what I will say is a pattern starts to form. When you guys were leaving the wreck of your ship, there were less mundane, or not so mundane, but like they seem to vary as far as like murderer, rapist, that kind of thing. There were a broader scope of crimes. These 8, you guys know you're within a day of the city of Hinterwood. These all seem to have some sort of religious connotation.
That's what I was thinking. I just couldn't put it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like religious crimes, essentially.
Right. There seems to be a pattern of crimes against the church that are appearing.
I'm just I kind of just walk around them and I just take note that all these kind of say, just their different types of crimes. The ones that get me the most, for the most part, are kind of the necromancer and the witch.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any others that seem to have some type of like class or some type of
Occupation.
seem to be, yeah. some type of occupation that's not like I mean, necromancer, witch, spy, but a heretic, a blasphemer, those anybody could be those, but the necromancer and a witch are a little more specific.
So what strikes you most is that they're all dressed in similar. They're dressed similarly in sackcloth, as though they were imprisoned at one point, hands bound in a stock. They're stripped of identity, which seems to be the point. The only defining feature they have is, or well, lack of a defining feature. Now I'm thinking about it. The iron masks are flat, but they still show like hair, ears, that kind of thing. Like that's the only defining feature among them. Again, with your 20, you know that each mask it's like a cuff, right? For their like goes around their neck and their whole head. Each one has got a lock right behind their ear. But otherwise, they look largely the same. They just vary in size, shape, gender, that kind of thing.
I get up and I'm pretty like stone faced at this point, just kind of investigating them. I walk over to Cass and look for Bud. Um, and I grab Foz just in case. And I try to bring those three together with me. And I'm just like, look, mates, I know I like to play around and stuff, but those ghoulies over there all have signs around their necks like they did, some bad stuff against, some church guys. And since some of you guys are church guys and you see things in the future, mate, maybe you guys might, put some things together.
I like this kid. He's smart. Let me take a look.
I like him too. He's got an open mind. I'll be the first to tell you that zealotry is the worst thing a church can have. Never did mine any good.
I look, when he says that, I'm like, that guy said he said, like, some stuff against the church, mate. Like, and I'm trying to, like, look at a note that I wrote on my hand, but my hand's blue, and I have a hard time reading any notes on my windy hand, and I'm just like, blasphemy, mate. Blasphemy. And I just, that's all I got.
Toss will just grin at you. It's like, hey, it's blasphemy for some.
No, I mean, he's got a sign around his neck, mate, and that one's a witch, and that one over there summoned dead guys. I think that one summoned the other dead guys, mate. Yeah.
Maybe.
Bud, what would you like to do? Bud and Foz, even. What would you like to do?
I mean, I would go look at the signs and yes, these seem to be the crimes.
I would be more looking for possible. Was there like did they get branded? I would assume that certain maybe religion zealots might brand somebody with the mark of their god or something like that on their skin. If they're like a heretic or something.
You can roll, let's say, a medicine check.
All right. Yoink.
No,
what I will say is you don't find any brands. What you find is that these bodies have been. You can tell that there's a conscious effort to remove personality from these bodies.
Got it.
There are a couple that have tattoos that are burned away. Some that have piercing holes, or that have holes where piercings were that were removed. Things like that. There don't appear to be, the only markings on them is just the sun in the middle of their forehead.
Okay.
Our jovial friend does raise a valid point. We should be careful around any institutionalized faith in the city that we are approaching.
I agree. I'm not sure what god they might be serving out here. Could be something weird. It could be something modified of some other faith. I mean, I could tell you that much. No priest of Helm would be doing that.
I sure hope not.
Foz,
Should make
after
travel
looking
while
at
the daylight.
Agreed. Foz, just by looking at the masks and everything you've seen, and there was in prior religion checks, it seems to be a common theme of Lathander.
Yep. It looks like they worship Lathander. Same
What's that, mate?
evidence. There's a deity similar to this helm that our bud over here worships. But, of course, a different deity, different domain, different set of followers, different rules. And from the evidence that we have seen, very zealous.
Is there anything to note about the construction of the masks? Like, are they crude or are they like artisan?
The very opposite of crude, very much so artisan.
Very ornate.
Yeah. So and you can see side by side the iron masks that are faceless to the golden masks that you've just retrieved, which are both are in high detail. One is just blank of face, the other is like the opposite. Supreme detail, high, features down to the imperfections of the face. They seem to be recreations of a face.
Can I
Except made
find,
in
like
gold.
a maker's mark
Ooh,
or an
interesting.
emblem of sorts?
I'll say roll a. What do you higher in, wisdom or intelligence?
Wisdom.
Roll a perception check with advantage, I'll say.
Oh,
And
Thank you
a good
for
thing
that.
too.
Yes.
I like that it was two different colors.
Okay, so what I will say is that with an array of masks around you, there are only 4 that have a mark upon them, and they're the gold ones. Each one, the location of the mark is when you flip the mask around, you're looking straight at it. It's on the inner left side, like underneath the jawbone here. They're all in the same spot, but have different marks on them, as though they were made by different makers, but all are of the same craft and quality. So what you can infer is that it seems to be so for you as a smith, what you can infer is that it seems to be some sort of like standardized thing. Everyone places it in the same spot. And given the quality of the craft, you imagine that this is something like local to the town.
Yeah. Like there's more than one like craftsman making these, and it's a whole unified effort.
Exactly.
Pulling.
This also tells you that perhaps the iron one, like unless you removed one of the iron masks, you couldn't verify, but there could be a similarity there as well.
I'll take a look at one of the iron ones if I can remove it.
They're locked to the face, so either you.
Vulcan
we tried.
doing this.
Okay.
I cast guidance on Vulcan as I see him messing with the mask.
Are you gonna just try and like strength
Yeah, I'm gonna
straight
shoot it.
open? Okay. Roll an athletics check then. With a +4.
Or plus D4, right?
You get a D. I think it's a D4.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
It's
rolled
a
it
D4.
already.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
In my head, I said D.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Plus
you can roll
one.
it before or after, but yeah, I cast guidance on you. So
So, you can feel your gears wind and your ligaments tense as you like get your fingers manage to get your fingers into an almost invisible seam on the mask, and you start to pull, and as you start to pull, your smithing mind takes over, and you're like, these are of fine make. They're going to be hard to pull apart, and you start to pull, and you can't get it separated.
Interesting. They don't look as nice, but they're still finely crafted.
Actually, they look very nice. The blankness of the faces seem to be intentional. Now that you've taken a look at these masks further.
Yeah. This seems very organized.
But you also see the lock behind the ear. They can be removed if you pick it.
I'm not gonna try on that one.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
I don't know if this will apply, or I don't know if you even would have thought of something like this, but player knowledge. I know that there's a little bit of issue between Helm and Lathander based on stuff that the gods did between each other. Would there be anything that I would actually have knowing against Lathander followers? Like, we be like, don't really like those guys, don't really trust them, they're kind of weird?
Go ahead and roll a religion check with advantage.
Yeah.
Guess what? The wifey's home. The non-nerd. Get out of here, not nerd. Normal person. Don't want to ignore me.
Is this Revenge of the Nerds? What's going on?
It's our time now.
How do I roll advantage again on here? Oh, no, I
The
see it.
nerd noise is a nerd call.
Thundercats! Ho!
Just don't understand.
Hold on.
Mine is Lee.
Damn it.
I love it.
Okay. Sure.
Always be my
Fair enough.
call, or the wee woo.
12.
I don't know what
Careful,
player knowledge
SpongeBob.
you're referring to in particular, but what I will say is that you would know with a 12 that one of the main tenets of Lathander is the preservation of life.
Right. Okay.
You know that Helm is very much a stick to your guns, your mode, like your calling, whatever it is that you were ordered to do, what you've put your life to do, your goals, your honor. That's what you do, no matter what.
Got it.
As far as Lathander goes, you know that they have a strict hatred of undead.
Mm-hmm.
You know that they preserve life and light.
Got it.
They're more of a neutral god, but you know.
Yeah. Cool.
I won't tell you any inferences, but
No worries. I like it.
anybody else?
I don't like this town that we're about to go to. I think I was sort of thinking the town was like gonna be like safer than the woods, but I'm sort of now thinking that it might not be.
I'm with Zoom on this one, mate. I don't want to go there either. I don't want to end up like those guys, and those guys, and I point back to the NPC guys, might end up like those guys faster than we do, mate. I don't want that to happen.
Believe this town will be dangerous, but in different ways. We will need to be subtle.
Are they gonna should we hide the fact that we took out all these zombies and shit? Should we not say stuff about that because they might get offended or something?
Should I just hide, mate? You said subtle. I don't know if I can be subtle, mate.
That would be wise. Especially this large one. The small ones, they seem to be criminals. They might not care. But this large one seems to have from the inscriptions, have a divine purpose. If we have interfered with that purpose, well, and he just looks to one of the metal masked ones. It may not be taken kindly.
Right. We should probably come up with some kind of story then for why we're coming to town.
We got shipwrecked, mate. We just tell them the truth, yeah?
What path did we take? Because if we went through the forest,
We took the water one, mate. That's how we got there, to the forest.
yeah, but the part between what happened to my accent? Between the water and the town is what they'll probably ask about, and that part is the part in question.
Well,
There's also a chance that all of these zombies and this monster didn't even come from the town. Could
That's
be a
true.
correlation. It could be a church in the forest somewhere.
I think at this point it would make sense. Who is trained in history?
Me.
Good question.
I am as well.
Wilkin is
Whoever is trained in history, go ahead and roll a history check, please.
Check
I
it.
will also allow religion, if you're trained in that, to roll one as well.
Wow.
Okay, what do we got here?
Wait,
What
wait,
do we
wait,
got?
James.
Apparently have had
James.
some heavy historical conversations.
Yeah, Foz has been talking to me about this shit, so
Then why don't you go ahead, Zoom?
So what I will say is that the Hinterwood is like Hinterwood as a city is known for a few things. It is known for its devoutness as a whole. It is known for being one of the more independent cities. As far as like living this close to the store world, they've been, with the weird and the strangeness of the forest for in its inception. Essentially, they pride themselves on their own defense, living within the wild and still doing well and being prosperous. So there's a certain amount of pride with them as well. With an 18,
That history check's old enough to go to war.
All my notes got erased.
or to get drafted.
Control Z, Control Z.
Control Zoom.
Only I can.
I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it to confirm your suspicions, at least in that direction. You know that the city of Hinterwood is religious as a whole.
Alright.
Zoom is just like, they like religion in Hinterwood.
Probably something else, I guess, would make sense here. Because their pride in growing up in a dangerous area or being found in a dangerous area means they frown upon the guild as interlopers slightly.
Oh yeah, and
it's more of a
they don't like
pride
the
thing.
guild.
Say that again, mate. They don't like who?
They don't like the guild, so maybe we should definitely not tell them that we're from the guild.
Oh, I think we should just fuck off altogether then, mate.
Well, we kind of have a job to do, so
I'm looking at the zombies and I'm looking at the big thing behind us and I'm pointing to the NPCs and I'm just like, dead guys, dead guys, dead guy. Mate, we're all gonna die if we go inside that city. I don't want to sing songs when I'm dead, mate. That's not fun. No one can hear them except for you guys. And what
Put my
fun is
left
that,
hand on
mate?
his one shoulder, and my other hand I slap him across the face.
As
Get yourself
he's-
together, mate.
As
I
he's
spin
going
around really hard because I'm super light and I'm just like, oh my god, mate.
well, he's
About
like a
half-
tornado.
about halfway through that whole rant, Foster's gonna be like roll his eyes and go into the owl just so he doesn't have to hear it.
But the owl is still pretty close, so you still hear it.
Yeah, he has the owl fly away.
No,
My
just like,
question-
thanks, kitty guy. Sometimes I can get really sad, mate.
I've just been really
Can I-
thirsty
Don't
for
ever need to be
smelling those
sad.
dead guys.
You're still like,
On edge.
I smell those delicious dead guys that you're talking about.
Storm
They
fire,
attack, I'm ready.
pulling back that bow.
Ocasio, can you talk to plants?
Good question. Probably not.
Because I can talk at them, but I can't really understand them if they talk to me back.
Cast the spell. Listen to plants.
Higher
Yeah,
translator.
that's all I
for
need. I
plants.
just need.
It only
I just
costs
need to
half a
listen
spell
to
level.
plants. Yeah.
I'm suddenly having to be here like, okay, what does the forest sound like? God damn it.
Fuck you, stop stepping on me.
This is why we don't write notes. All right.
Well,
Do your
I'm
worst.
more of a
Dang it.
water guy.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
Can
I'm
you
just
talk to
kinda-
the seaweed?
Speak with kelp.
kelp talk. It's a new.
Welcome to my kelp call.
That sounds like a very soothing podcast.
Make
Anyway,
the algae grow.
Welcome to Kelp
Hi.
Talk.
You guys
Welcome
remember that
to
show
Kelp
Snorks?
Casio Cascada.
It's kelp talk. It's like two brothers that have experts in. Anyway,
Underwater biomes.
it was a car
They
talk.
don't
joke.
take shit
I
from
couldn't-
nobody.
I couldn't make it home.
Two kelps.
It's just two cups.
It's just two kelps.
Well,
Two Kelps
Remember-
in a podcast.
remember that our mission here is just to figure out what's going on with the people who are losing their memory. There's a good chance that the town might not be involved, although this looks like pretty suspicious. So, if this has to do with what's going on in the town, then we should look into it further. Other than that, we might not even need to stay in the town. It might be further down the road. Play it by ear. Be cautious.
Sad guy's
linger.
making a lot of sense right now, mate.
I believe it would be prudent to try to gather what the general consensus. Oh, there we go. I can see the light.
I have a question.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Did we get any descriptions
do
of
I.
the people who lost their memories?
Sort of. They were sorry. Dragonborn. Traders and travelers are losing their memory in the Hinterwood. Voltstack wants us to investigate and keep it discreet. Affected people were around before the awakening because I asked about that. It's not known whether younger people
Oh, the
were
reverse.
around.
To clarify, the point was that there were people that either were born after the awakening or like there were people that were post awakening that had knowledge of the post awakening, and now their knowledge is pre. They're looking
Oh,
for
okay.
they're
that's-
looking for cities that are a part of a continent that are now islands.
Oh,
They're looking
what I
for
was asking when I asked that. All right.
they're
Um,
shocked when there are monsters on the road. They're regressing. Is probably a better way. That's a failure on me, not your note taking. Bright shiny day. He's in it, dude. I love it. I love it. No, it's a chat. Blame Ross. blame 48 Sharks. He's all about it.
That's what's happening.
I'm gonna name drop. Damn it, RJ! Quit distracting the DM.
Sing along time. Dude, half my DMing style is just quotes of music and sing along times.
Tremendous.
But yes.
Great time for
Love
me.
it. I love it.
So yeah, that was the general extent
Oh, okay.
of what you were investigating.
I will relay that to the party.
Yeah, because I'm just like, Zoom's just like in occult, like crazy conspiracy theorist mode, and he's just like, what if all these dead people are like the bodies of the people whose memories are gone.
Damn
And
it,
they're-
mate! Quit saying stuff like that. You're gonna scare the other dead guys that we have to travel with, mate. Stop it.
I've never played with a player that is like antagonistic to the NPCs in like the reverse way, right? It's like the psychological, fuck these guys, they're already dead and they don't know it. I love it. I love it
Like
so much.
Aragorn, and I should die as one of them.
And all the NPCs like, what? You what, mate? He's like,
You what, mate?
we weren't afraid, but we are now.
well, this town is going to be pretty dangerous, I think. So let's just be ready for anything. I think we kind of have to go there. I don't know if there's anywhere else we can't go.
But it may be just staying out here in the forest and being attacked every night.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
All right, mate. I'll follow you guys.
Day's travel. Let's go.
I'll be behind you. I have the arrow.
Mate,
right.
they're
The whole
dead.
time.
They're dead, lizard guy. It's all right.
I would suggest once we
I don't trust it.
get within sight of town that you might want to lower the bow. Might prevent issues with the town guard.
Once I see the living folk, possibly I will lower it.
I whisper to Dreek and I'm like, if you want some target practice, mate, you can hit the big green guy over there. And then I skip away and go hang out next to Bud to make sure I'm safe.
Drake, you assume he's pointing at the half-orc boar who is on the ship.
I mean, if he deserves it, he will get it.
I didn't answer that question. That last part, I just went to Bud.
All right.
I'm
So-
suspiciously aiming at that half orc.
Hang on. Okay. So you guys continue your travels for during a new day. Now that you guys are on the path, it is much more straightforward. The further you go, the number of bodies decreases, though the ones you do come across, the signs are still of the same theme. The religious connotation doesn't go away. The zealotry doesn't disappear. What you do notice on the bodies, though, is that there's a certain amount of physical scarring to them. They show an increase in physical wounds, in addition to, physical wounds beyond just decay or being out here. They seem to have suffered in some way. Floggings, whippings, that kind of thing. They show signs of abuse the further on you go.
Do we want to collect some of these masks to maybe wear if we need to? Considering the whole village might be wearing these masks.
I mean,
I've got the 4 big ones in the bag of holding.
I'd kind of like to be able to see.
Oh, you can't see through them? I thought they had eye holes.
No, you can absolutely see through them.
Oh, I thought they.
The only mask that had any kind of obstruction was the halfling mask. It was just had one eye sealed shut.
I'm just thinking that maybe they're all wearing them that won't let us in, or whatever, if we're don't have masks. Just a thought.
I mean, if you're willing to go through the mess of removing some.
Well, my only thinking is that Wolken tried to remove one and he couldn't do it, so I feel like it might be too cumbersome to do, so.
This quite stuck.
If a robot guy can't do it, mate, I don't think any of us can.
Then continue.
Well, if we pick the locks,
With
On 'em.
what?
I stare. Kaz stares at Dreek. We have a thief among us.
Among
What do
Us.
you fix it?
A thief, you say? Not a great one, if you ask me.
Talking about yourself that way.
We got the tools for it, yeah.
He may have the tools, but does he have the skill?
I go ahead
Do
and
you?
use one of my bardic inspirations on Dreek. If he's gonna go ahead and try and do that, so you have I think it's a D6 right now. To
I don't
help
know.
with your roll.
I was only suggesting because of there is a lock or like a keyhole option on the iron masks. If that's a route you guys would like to pursue.
Oh, only if he's doing it. If he's not doing it, then
I would love
But
to.
up to you guys.
I would love to unlock the mask with my skills.
Okay. I would say that you guys have traveled about an hour or two before this conversation comes up, so you guys are gonna have to lower one of the bodies down. We'll say this one in particular appears. It's like 2-3 feet tall. It appears gnomish.
We're sure they like wear masks normally. Like this isn't like only the punished peoples get masks. We're like
Okay.
pretty
Does it say
confident.
it's a body mate, like a prisoner guy.
The bad guys.
Well, what would answer that question is, can they still eat with a mask on?
And
don't think they
still
had
breathe
mouths.
with those on, mate.
Well, then
The
the answer
mouths
would
are-
be punishment.
The mouths on the masks are not open.
Right, but can you fit a hand in there to like? Okay.
The only opening in the mask, gold or iron, was the eyes.
And that means they're for punishment and they're put on dead people. Or meant to starve people.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I'm not liking any of those columns.
I say we forget the mask, mate, and just go up there.
Very well.
I think Acasio's right. It might just be prisoner guys who were wearing them, mate.
Okay.
Onward.
Are we not going to open them? Dreek, this is up to you. You can still do this, but do we want to open one of the iron masks or no?
Do it anyway. See what they look like.
I will give it a try.
Okay, roll a. I don't. So if you're using D&D Beyond, right?
Yes.
Okay, so go into the lower left panel of your character sheet. There's a section for tools. Back me up here on this one,
Let's
Bill.
see.
You have to roll a sleight of hand check.
It's a D20. It's a D20 usually. Like so, tools I thought were different. I thought they were D20.
Usually
So if you have,
dexterity. I
yeah, if
usually
you're in-
make my people roll a dexterity.
I usually do that, but I read a rule recently that was contrary to that. But
it depends on if you're using thieves' tools. Because if you're using thieves' tools, you actually have to run it from your thieves' tool. There's like a
You have to do it
in
for
your
inventory, right?
Yeah, so you have to have thieves' tools, and then there'll be a button in D&D Beyond when you click on your thieves' tool that that should be like I'm gonna roll.
Okay. I do have that. I'm gonna do that right.
Do it.
It says be.
Cool.
Hold on.
Hey,
Oh,
buddy.
there we go.
Huzzah!
Oh, nice.
Bad.
Minus
You
2.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
I
I
I,
also
why?
gave you a D6.
It's like when you take
That's-
chopsticks and stab through
makes
something.
sense.
That's
Is
not
it?
right.
Investigation maybe.
No.
To be
No.
Why is there a minus
dexterity.
2 for
Religion.
Okay.
Is your-
No.
what's your
Do me a
dex?
favor.
Arcana.
Forget all that. Forget all that. Roll
Yeah.
a sleight of hand check.
It's usually what I
Sleight of
have.
hand.
That's the other easy way to
Oh.
do it because it's usually the same bonus.
I'm adapting. Yeah.
This is much better.
So with an
much
18, yeah,
Yeah.
18 is great.
How is it -2?
I don't know. Yeah, it's something
I
else.
don't know.
So you take your thieves' tools and like place it within the lock, and you just kind of rotate and spread, and it just you hear a click, and the mask spreads apart, and there's now a big open seam from about here, the cuff to the neck, all the way up across to there.
Ooh.
You pry it apart, and you see a feminine face of a gnome.
Ooh.
She appears to just be a normal person, just a normal gnome. You kind of look around. You're like not really sure if there's anything special to this person. It's just a gnome.
Yeah.
With a mask on.
Ugh.
Who used to be a zombie. Oh wait, no, never mind. Sorry.
This is someone on the
no,
road, right?
Yeah, no, we're good. Sorry. In my mind, I thought we were still in the camp.
It's
Nope.
it's the creature we defeated, right?
No. So
Oh.
sorry. I didn't switch us to the world map because I didn't want to like fuck up the loading or anything.
Oh, it's okay.
But you guys have traveled about an hour from where you are on this map. You have pulled a body down to investigate an iron mask on the path to Hinterwood, the town. So this is completely separate. There's nobody here. This is not a zombie. The creature does not spring to life in any way. It just lays there. Though now that you've got it in front of you, it appears to have taken some sort of like beating beforehand. It's got a blackened eye. Some of its hair is missing. The iron mask, while having a blank face, this gnome appears to be youngish, despite their longer lifespans. It's I don't know. It seems to have lived a mediocre life. The sign on it just says heretic, but otherwise there's no defining feature to this person. It sits there. The corpse just is there, looking peaceful in its death.
I think we're right.
Just looks like a normal person.
The beatings on the body seem to prove our point that they were once prisoners, or at least were punished by wearing these masks. And if the town is the one doing these, then we need to approach cautiously.
We wouldn't want to end up like this fellow here.
So I recommend abiding by all the laws of this town.
Indeed.
And or pretending to love Lythander.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably don't say anything about like against Lathander. I'm not looking forward to this place. I miss Krantz.
Yeah, let's go back to Krantz, mate. On vacation or something, yeah? Fuck this
Krantz
place.
was a massacre.
Yeah, those were the days.
The blood is much better than this.
I've done my job right if you want to go back to a bloodbath and be here.
Pretty sure your host family was dead.
They were
Wayne Brady makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. Okay, that's how. That's it.
Oh man.
Is there
No,
anything you guys would like to do?
Not go to this town.
keep walking away.
Vengeful.
Avoid. maybe we should like scout this place out, mate, before we just walk right into it.
Oz, can your owl do your thing?
Let's get closer first.
Yes.
We still have a
Yeah,
lot
once
to
we get
once we're a
explore.
bit closer.
Give it a look.
Of course, mate. Yeah.
So we'll skip ahead a bit. We'll say you guys travel for the next 6 hours before glints of gold begin shining through the trees. Despite its density, every once in a while you see sun shining from in one direction, like the sun, like the god rays, as video games would tell you, all shining from where the sun is, and then every once in a while you see glints of gold coming from an opposite direction. They look like reflections or something, like somebody's holding up a mirror or something, and like the sun is reflecting oddly in a different direction. The closer you get, the trees begin to thin somewhat, and you begin to see stone towers on your horizon vision, some topped with gold, reflecting the sun in your direction. Not like focused in any way, but they just reflect the sun and they're bright in your eyes. I would say at this point you're about half an hour from the Hinterwood. The
Are we
city of Hinterwood.
still in like the cover of the trees, or
I have a question.
I'll say that you are.
As we're getting closer, are there more and more bodies in the trees?
They actually grow less and less.
That's good news. I point that out to the group.
This means they don't
On the trees?
shit where they eat.
Possibly.
The theme of religion on the signs doesn't change. That seems to progress or increase even the closer to the
There's
city,
less bodies.
but there are fewer bodies.
Got it.
all right? If nobody has anything else they want to do, I will the owl and go high enough to get like a bird's eye view.
We'll gather around and watch the crystal ball.
Okay.
Watch, take note of.
So
TT.
my description of Hinterwood now has to change because it's through the view of an owl. Did I plan for this? No way. So as your owl flies through the trees and up a bit over the path that you're following, kind of like through the trees as some cover and over the walls at a high distance.
Yeah.
The city of Hinterwood is surrounded by great stone walls and covered in guards all the way around. The path that you're following leads to a open iron portcullis. Who left?
Josh went AFK.
Okay.
It'll be automatically.
Well, he hasn't been for a while. Yeah. There's an iron portcullis at the end of your path between the walls that is open currently. No, you don't see a great number of travelers or anything coming in through here. Though you do see a couple people leaving in that direction. From this height, you see Victorian-esque style of stone buildings with shingled rooftops that line either side of a great cobbled street leading toward the center of town. Actually, I have... Yep. So, as always, artistic liberties, but this is kind of what I'm basing it off of a little bit.
Go bring my notes. Okay.
Beautiful.
Many buildings seem to hold some sort of decorative glass or windows set into, and many hold high towers. It seems pretty commonplace. There's a lot of like variance in height and depth to these buildings. They mostly seem to go vertical versus being longer or wide. But even the most commonplace buildings have some sort of like vertical structure to them in some fashion. The most lavish of which have like goldish plating around the tops that reflect brightly in the waning sun. At this point, we'll say it's like 2 in the afternoon-ish or something. At the opposite sides of the city of Hinterwood are these like great hills or stone hills that have been terraced and structured to have other buildings on them. And with the gray peaks on one side and these stone hills on the other, you're close to, like, at 2 p.m. you're close to being what would be the equivalent of sundown at this point. So this place doesn't seem to get a lot of light.
Due to like the elevation rising of the hills. Oh, okay.
The fact that there are hills and various other things with the sun. When the sun sets, you imagine the sun sets around like 4-ish or 3, depending on the season. You see many denizens walking the streets. Though from this height you can't really tell much else. You see, a courtyard with fountains and statues and various other things. But yeah, unless you dive lower and are looking for something specific, that's what I'll tell you for now.
Not currently. I will say, are there any gates that are getting more traffic than others?
I will say that the city is big enough that you've only seen one gate, and that's the one closest to you.
I would. Oh no, pretty big. Might be waiting a while. There is a gate close to us. Well, people can see it. Whatever. I'm not gonna narrate it.
I've narrated it fairly well for you. So
that is what we see. I'll pop out and ask if anybody has any specific things that they would like looked at closer.
I feel like
Go ahead.
I feel like I may have seen this city before.
Have you been here before?
I believe I have. Can I roll for it?
sure, go ahead and roll a history check to see if your travels have taken you here.
Roger.
Ah. 0.
What I will say is that you're unsure, because in this case you can't tell if it's a memory you're having or a story that was told to you by one of your roguish compatriots.
Right.
But it's coming to you as though reality. You're seeing it. You're having a sense of deja vu, seeing it in the crystal ball of Fosradine.
I'm unsure if I've seen this place, but I'm sure I have. I can't tell.
Are you all right, lizard guy?
I don't know what's happening. I have these visions. I have these visions, but I'm just unsure.
Lizard guy, you can't take old guy's powers, mate. You're the lizard guy. He's the old guy with the thing, mate. If you keep acting all funny, I'll put you with those guys over there, the dead ones, mate.
You don't have to do that. No. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I look back at Boar, and then I look back over at Dreek. Good, mate. I don't want you to be a dead guy. Come on, let's go fix your head, yeah? Let's go into the city, mate. Find you a friend or a lady, yeah?
That sounds great. That sounds great. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay.
And I trail off, and I'm just like, so I always wonder how the lizards do it, mate. That's really weird, yeah?
All right, what's the plan? Are you guys going to the gate? Or
I was going to ask Voz when he says he wants, if there's anything anyone wanted to look for. I was going to say, perhaps you should look for any smithy of anyone who might be making those masks.
Or
any sign of them at all.
Can try. Can look around, see if I can see any of them, but from a bird's perspective, might be difficult to find.
Would you like to get closer?
Yeah, I'll do like a perch on the rooftop, pick a couple.
Okay. Your owl is unusual only because it's nocturnal.
Yeah.
It seems like a fair amount of wildlife flies over it. There are a great amount of avian wildlife comes from the forest and seems to be flocking out in these areas. The lower you get, the more you get to look at the populace below. It's a diverse and eclectic group, but what unifies them the most are the masks they wear. Not everyone is wearing one. I'll be clear about that. It seems to be at about a we'll say 50-50 of masks to not. They range in various peoples, like size, shape, race, and gender. They always seem to be depicting a person, but they don't always seem to match the person wearing them.
Okay.
They always seem to be made of gold. You notice none of them are made of iron. But they range completely. They always seem to be a personification of somebody else, right? You see masks of children, of dwarves worn by humans, females worn by men, and like it seems to be varying always.
Do any of them strike as like notable historical or like religious figures? Like this is the mask of Baron, who went with Luther, stuff like that.
I would. Okay, what I will say is it doesn't require a check only because it seems normalized. Is what I will say.
Okay.
Because of the artistry, it doesn't unless you know a famous person, and would recollect. They look like faces.
But I totally follow Lathander on Instablog.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
they seem to be actual personifications of other people, but because they're so numerous, they don't stand out because they're so eccentric and just like so detailed.
Are they like just masks, or are they like?
No, fair question.
Masks.
So,
okay.
They are like the Iron Mask. They tend to go from the neck up like a collar, all the way reaching around the face, past the ears to the back of the head. They're almost like helmets with just like with the back of their head exposed.
So similar make /
similar make, but a different material.
Yeah.
And unlike the Iron Masks, which don't have any faces at all, these gold ones all have faces and are intricately detailed, very much, eye holes open, but very much a personification of a face. Down to the hair, the ears, everything. So
with locks or without locks?
With locks in that they're like, they're wavy and then like usually end in like a person's actual locks. Oh, those. Yeah. Roll a perception check for me.
I guess Foz would
No,
do it.
Foz would have to do it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or his owl would have to do it.
Sorry. Pressing buttons to find things. Perception checks. Oh. Found. Activate D&D Beyond. There. Beyond 20. Boy.
So with that perception check, you direct your owl to look kind of just specifically underneath the ear or behind the ear, and you're looking, and every once in a while a shadow will go over where you expect to see a keyhole, but your owl sees none. And the longer you look, the more you're determined that there are no There are no locks per se that there seems to be seems to be a hinge and a latch to keep the things together, but they are not locked per se. So they can be removed.
You have your answer.
Again, 50-50. The rest of the people are moving about their business, free of mask.
We can still go in. We just need to be cautious, as previously stated.
Let's head on in.
Don't
If
draw
you
any
aren't
attention to
sure
yourselves.
whether to say something, keep your mouth shut.
I'll do a disguise self on myself.
Okay.
Just to make myself look less like a 7-foot tall verbal guy.
I thought you said you're blue. Sorry.
I said Furbolg.
Oh, I thought you said purple.
No.
I also heard purple, to be fair. Okay.
Purple.
Oh, I'm getting lightheaded. Maybe I hyperventilated a little too much.
All right.
Let me make sure
So-
I mark that off.
I burped. It smelled bad. I'm offending myself.
Better out than in, I always say.
All right.
And
So
I'll make myself look like I have a mask too. I'll just make myself look like I have like a let's see, who should I make myself look like?
Nicolas Cage.
I'll make myself look like I have the elf mask that we took off the tree.
okay. You guys took all those masks with you, right?
They're in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like visible, but
Actually, maybe I don't want to do that. I'll just do like a random elf.
But in fine detail, like in the likeness of other masks, or
Yeah, like similar to the ones I saw through Foss's crystal
Okay.
ball thing.
sure. All right.
See if I get treated any differently or something.
Okay. So as you guys approach the gate, you guys are let through without issue. A few people come in your direction, passing through, some with masks, some without. Some do have wagons of trade. Some are just travelers, like a couple stray rangers and things. A group does pass you that appears more heavily armed. Not quite like a guard, but they have they're like cloak. They're dressed more like rangers or fighters or that kind of thing. They're just like less heavily armored but prepared for battle. They all like wear cloaks and just various camouflage gear. But as you guys pass them, you notice that they've got an eye with a sun on it. Or it's like the outer lids of an
brooch
eye.
or badge, or
It's like a brooch, yeah. Like a cloak pin.
oh, okay. I was thinking like the halfling eye. Okay,
A brooch, but it does reckon back to that image, and is upon their breasts, pinning their cloak. But they're heavily armed and they're heading out into the forest. It seems. The guard, however, doesn't accost you in any way. They watch you pass and just seem to let you go.
all right. Well, I guess there's that.
But what does accost you is a rough and tumble looking half orc, who comes up and he's like, "You're the Seekers of Fate, aren't you?"
Who's asking?
Don't do that.
He looks around. He's like, "Come with me. This way."
Insight check.
Insight check.
Insight.
Actually, you know what?
No, I don't know what. Tell me what.
Do I want to do that?
I am doing it.
Oh my god.
Fuck that guy.
Well, first I'll do the insight check.
I didn't like that at all. My insight check is awful.
Oh no.
Go with that guy.
Me too.
Down an alleyway we go.
Right.
Will I lose an organ?
Oh yeah.
Maybe a toe.
Okay, I'll have Kaz roll as well, just because it seems like a thing he would do anyway. So
Super suspicious.
don't be suspicious.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious.
Oh.
Okay, so Acasio and Zoom in particular, you guys look at this guy, and there's a bit of relief on his face, and a bit of expectation. Like he was looking for you and just suddenly found you. Zoom, you recognize he's trying to shepherd you away to be out of sight. Like he's trying to get everyone away.
Is he nervous or is he like?
There
I
is
mean-
a bit of nervousness to that. Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like hostile towards us necessarily.
You don't sense malicious intent necessarily, but you sense an urgency to him that is a bit off-putting.
He knows who we are.
He obviously recognizes you immediately.
Me?
No, like all of you.
Oh,
The royal you.
like I'm in disguise. He's got true sight.
He's
Kill
a
him.
Minotaur.
This must be our contact. We should go with him.
Like, come on, he says.
Play now.
I'll go in the back and I'll keep an eye out to see if anyone's like watching us.
Roll a perception check.
I would like to do one as well.
Jesus Christ, dude.
2 in a row.
It's the mask.
Oh.
I don't notice
Okay.
anything.
So, Acasio, like, you're more focused on what's in front of you. Like, you're very clearly intent on this guy. Zoom, as soon as you lock in on this guy and figure out what he's about, you start looking around. There's some guard that have taken notice of you, and like a couple are watching you. That feels expected. You've drawn a couple, like, curious eyes. You're kind of an eclectic group. You kind of expect that. But what you don't expect is just the kind of the feeling, just in general. Without you look around, you clock eyes. You're looking around. You clock people. The ones who see you, but you feel like you're just being watched.
Just like shuffle. And like anyone who's like directly looking at it, are they looking at me in particular or just the group? Like,
Not you in particular.
or
This
is there
more-
anyone in the group that they're looking at in particular, or?
No. So what I will say, it's more of an extrinsic, like, you're being watched kind of thing. Like your hackles raise. You can feel the Shrilgar in you wanting to cover its eyes kind of thing. Like you feel like you're being watched by something else outside of just the people around you.
I just like shiver a bit and continue following.
And this half orc doesn't lead you into
Actually,
an alleyway.
Can
Go
I?
ahead.
I'm gonna do detect magic as well. I'm just gonna blow my racial shit here.
Okay.
Do I catch anything within our immediate vicinity?
What is it? 60 feet?
30, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 30 feet. It looks like.
30 feet.
Yep, 30.
There is nothing in your immediate area other than the magic items on
Cool. Yeah, I'll just keep it up and
your friends.
and, like,
There's
as we walk around.
it's cast instantaneously, right?
Mhm.
You see him like the radiance of a magic item on the half orc, but it's not like he's radiating magic or anything.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out as we go. I'm just like,
yeah. No, with a 20 insight and with a natural crit insight and perception, it's way more just like an aura of something that's settled around you. That entering the city of Hinterwood has just kind of lain on you.
What are you doing? Cat's going crazy.
As cats do.
Meow.
It.
Cool.
But this half orc leads you away, not into a dark alley per se, but just kind of off to the side. And he says, "I didn't think I'd see you out here. I was set to watch, but we all thought you were dead."
Our ship was sunk. Is that the right term? Sink? Whatever.
Sink it.
I get the idea.
Before we go into specifics, who exactly are you?
Oh, right. The name's Ancient Komu.
Did you say
Uh,
agent, mate?
Agent, yeah. I work with Vantham or Vantham.
Wrong campaign.
It's a completely different campaign. Starts with a V. Different phrase.
He works with demons. Kill him.
Devils.
Devils.
I work with Shade Volstek. He told me to be out here looking for you, just in case. We heard your ship went down when it didn't show up in Oakvale.
The massive electric serpent. I'm sure you've heard of it.
He shakes his head. I have heard of it, but not anybody that survived it.
And we are lucky.
Beyond lucky. I thought I was just having a free job with not having to actually talk to anybody.
What was the name again? Sorry, Agent what?
Kovu.
HOVU.
Kovu. Kovu.
Oh, Kovu. I think you said Hovu.
No, I'm just talking in an accent. It's Kovu. There could be an H in there.
Oh, big.
Kahove.
Heavy.
The alley guy.
But he's a shade, so he's one of the rogue guild people.
Introduce himself as Agent Kovu. Now that like kind of the let's rewind a little bit. He's a rough and tumble looking. He's dressed in like darker leathers with splotches of orange and blue on it. Dark greens. He looks like he's dressed like a scout or a ranger of some kind of the forest, but particularly the Storwold. Like he looks like he could actually blend in pretty well with like the flower fields and whatnot. He's got a bow across his back, a quiver of arrows, dagger at his belt, kind of thing. He's ready for action, but is unobtrusive in the town. So,
Did he have a mask?
he's not wearing a mask. He's got like jet black hair, kind of pulled back into like it goes up and back, and it's tied around here, and the rest goes into dreads behind him. But he just kind of has a very light-ish air about him, and wears a bit of a smirk on his face.
Tell us what's going on. What are we doing here?
Things are a bit in flux right now. You were supposed to be here a day ago, but I was tracking your next contact who, well, he was a part of the collective recently, and then he just went on the lam. I think somebody tipped him off that he was being watched. He's a bit skittish right now.
The collective.
He's a part of the collective, yeah. Name's Manus McMahon.
What kind of names are these, mate? Are you guys real people?
I don't know. I don't make them up.
Did you make up your name?
Bovu. I'm sure somebody made it up when I was born.
He's
Yeah,
human?
man.
Did you say?
He's
Or
half-orc.
half-orc, okay.
Half orc.
So
What did he
I'm not wrong.
What did he say about this Manus McMahon?
Here's our
Remember,
contact.
remember the collective.
What's the
Warlock
collective?
of the
Yeah, sorry. When I said the collective, that's what I was meaning to ask.
The question was answered when you talked to Volstek. Inspiration of the guy who can tell me what the collective is.
I might have written it down just a sec. Org Guild, multiple corruption. Oh, nope, got nothing.
That's why we're here.
Yes, the collective.
The collective
Wink, wink,
No
nudge,
takers.
nudge.
is a
That's
gathering
That's
of
the team that's
guild
gone missing,
members.
right?
It is the team that's gone missing. What else can you tell me about it, Vulcan?
that's all I got. They were researching here.
They were researchers for sure. They were a collective of
Collectors.
the magical disciplines of the guild: the wizards, the sorcerers, the warlocks. Manus McMahon is a warlock of the Eternal Covenant.
I think Daniel's camera froze.
Yeah, it did.
Very much frozen.
I'm just waiting to finish taking notes.
He's
'cause
stuck
I-
in a very peaceful, like look on his face.
Oh, for me,
Taking
it's just
adventure
black,
like this.
so
Yeah, you're just like.
very
Are
zen.
you standing?
I don't know. You look stony.
He's a stoned wizard.
So then, what's the plan of action?
Something spooked him in the last day or two. He's been.
Couldn't imagine what.
I couldn't tell you either. We were watching him, and he's able to change face. Seems proficient at it. Normally takes the guise of a dwarf, but he's been giving our agents the slip.
Why would he be doing that?
Like I said, something's got him spooked, but I don't know what.
What is he involved in that requires him to hide?
Well, other than the collective, which is known for arcane uses, and God knows what else they've been, God knows what else they've been researching out here. I don't know. I think that's your job. Initially, I was just told to look after him. Now I'm looking out for you. And now that I found you, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Is there something you're not telling us?
Not yet. Just haven't gotten there yet.
Drake, you're really quick to bring out the bow here.
I'm very suspicious.
Wait, so you're just gonna leave Kovu?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, can you take? We have some 3 dudes with us. Can you like take these dudes with us or with you?
Yeah, mate, get these dead guys out of here.
You turn around, and they're not there.
Oh, thank God, mate, they're gone.
That was easy.
What the
Well,
fuck?
I
needs him?
foresee that this might bite us in the rear end.
I hope not, mate. Unless we get to
y-
kill them later.
you get the feeling that they just didn't follow you.
Damn, they just.
Oh
they just-
shit!
they
They
took
just
their
peaced
chance
out.
and ducked out.
It's no problem
Well-
because they're not being followed and not being watched. So
Listen, I don't know if you're being followed or nothing, but you guys find anything out in the forest?
too much.
Yeah. Mhm.
A bunch of dead guys, mate.
That tracks.
Lots of reanimated corpses. Criminals, from what we were able to gather. Executed.
And some crazy spider tank man.
Men.
Well, I ain't heard of no
Tank.
spider
Or
tank
women.
guy, but undead are a particular specialty of the forest. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't know what you're saying, mate.
What is the...
Spill the beans.
Let me put it this way: Hinterwood's got them their own organization, call themselves the Eyes of Lathander. They run out into the forest and hunt the undead.
I feel like
This your voice killer on my throat.
it sounds like
I'm
they're
gonna
out
tell
there
ya.
doing like fox hunting.
It's a high
Some
noon.
dangerous game. It's high noon.
Have you ever seen any dead bodies wheeled out to the forest? Particularly with signs around their necks?
Aye, it's a regular occurrence.
Are they dispatched here, or are they judged in the forest?
Listen, this place here is grim. I'll tell you what. They're usually taken out alive, hanged out in the forest. Usually only reserved for the cream of the crop, so to speak, for criminals. But it seems to happen here a lot. I'm not from here, but this place gives me the creeps. You know what I'm saying?
Is
Mate,
blasphemy
can I
a
ask
crime
you a
worthy of death?
question?
Sorry, y'all talked over yourselves. Well, one at a time. Why don't you?
Go ahead and let the sad guy talk. He's got a lot of smart things to say.
All I said was, is blasphemy a crime worthy of death?
Here, everything is blasphemy if you talk to the wrong person.
It's good to know.
Yeah, he pretty much answered my question, mate.
Don't know if the
And-
corpse is on the way gave it away, but these people actually believe in their religion a lot.
And who are the wrong people?
Oh, depends on your perspective on religion and Lathander. Really. You say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you get reported to the higher ups in the temples there, and next thing you know, they're knocking on your door for blasphemer.
So, like anyone, you're saying?
Sometimes.
Don't
You happen to
trust
be
the
from
neighbors,
France?
man.
Nah, I'm from the neighboring city. Nah, further
Oh, okay.
down. Yeah, no, it depends. I know the French in the South are usually mistaken for each other, but no, I get around. Usually I'm from further up.
Well, that kind of got swallowed. I mean, I was from further up, but that kind of got swallowed up by the earth 10 years ago.
Yeah, I got out of there as fast as I could. Know what I'm saying? Nothing for me down there. Thought I was out to escape all the religion down in near Umberley and such, but
This is
You
this is
know-
why I crit the insight, because I know this man.
yeah, you do. That's why we're having this conversation. But listen, y'all need to take care of yourselves out here. I don't like this place, and I'm not sticking around as long as I need to.
Can you tell us anything about those who've lost their minds?
Place is strange. I haven't talked to much down here. Listen, I don't trust the guild too much. See them as interlopers, is what I'm saying. I try to keep it down, keep it on the down though. Just be a trapper. About to move on because not too many skins to find, but haven't talked to many people specifically.
We don't really have a good track record with trappers.
Actually, I think without traps, we would have been pretty screwed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we have a pretty stellar.
I said
record
with
trapping.
trappers.
Oh, with
Ah.
trappers.
Have you been drinking? It's her sober. Done got it.
Are we sure about that? Hold on, let me check.
Are you sure about that?
Nate.
Totally
It seems
sure.
pretty sober to me.
Josh did the math. It checks
Yep.
out.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Insight performed.
You know, Matt
like
Pan
it.
kind of sounds like Batman.
Hmm.
No.
Sus.
Math pan.
Get out of here. Get out of here. What was the last question? I missed it.
Matt's like, I'll kill you.
Eh?
I don't even remember what the last. Did anyone ask a question? I think.
Well, you were having like super sweet rapport with the guy.
I was talking about the mind. People who lost their mind.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
You did it in
Right. I mean, the townsfolk around here are pretty weird already. You know what I'm saying? If you don't follow Lathander, you're already kind of a outsider, so to speak, and they don't take well to the outsiders. Let me say. So do your best to blend in, maybe.
Have any of the townsfolk been a victim of the memory loss? Or is it just travelers?
He scratches his head. I don't know. I haven't spent too long here. Mostly stationed to be your liaison, so to speak, but something weird in this place. And I don't want to stick around to see the rest. It's like something grates on your mind. I don't sleep well here. I don't like it. People are strange, but they all seem to think it's normal. So, you're looking for something weird, I can't tell you.
I'm looking for someone who has experienced these symptoms. Is there anyone you could direct us to? So that we could see it for ourselves.
Well, I don't know about symptoms. I'm mostly here as an observer, you know what I'm saying? And I was ordered by Volstek not to interact too much. Except for you, of course.
Well, surely you have seen something if you were an observer, yes?
Talking
Assuming you know how to do your job.
He scowls at you. Look here. Everyone's going about their daily business. You're hired to find the weird shit. I'm just here to make sure everything's on the up and up. As far as I can tell, everything is under the purview of Lathander. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else is done hanged or executed. Sent into the stockades or prisons. You won't get moody with me, you just go out here and figure it out for yourself. How about that, old guy? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, you said there was. How can we find our contact?
Oh, yeah, McMahon. Well, like I said, he's
McMahon.
Yeah,
the man.
Manus McMahon. Dwarvish old fella. The only thing I can tell you is that he is a dwarf, but tends to disguise himself as something else. He tends to frequent the Rising Moon Inn on the east side of town. I only know he's part of the collective because he let slip on a drunken night a couple months ago.
Are there other members of the collective here, or just that guy?
He was the most obtrusive. I'm just deep in his cups. Other people tend to talk. But like I said, a day or two ago, he went off the grid. Something spooked him. Might have fine. He may still go about that, but I don't know. I don't know if he skipped town or not. But that's where I last saw him.
At the inn?
At the inn.
Okay. Well, I guess we could start there.
Best place as any.
Might be good to get rooms booked. A place to lie low if we need to.
Hey, it's something. You sure y'all didn't fight? You said undead were out in the forest. Did you guys find anything else?
Nope.
There was
Just
a tree that walked around on its own and ate bodies from that were hanging.
Well,
So
that's
I think we
different.
mentioned the crazy spider person thing.
Also, an executioner sword. Yeah, point to Zoom.
You'll hear the story the next time you hit a bar, mate. Trust me.
I see that sword.
I tell Uma, I'm like, we probably shouldn't start that too soon, though, just because here it might not be.
Oh no,
Met
mate. I'll
with-
wait until we leave here. Yeah, I'll do it after. I don't
Cool.
want to get, hung in my sleep or wake up and there's some guy trying to splash water on me screaming about Lathander or something. That'd be really creepy and erotic. Just a bit, yeah.
Let me see that there sword you got.
takes everything literally. No, just kidding.
I shove it in his eyes. No. Yeah, I mean, it's just on my back. I'll just take it out.
He's just kind of like looking at it. And he's like, reads the inscription. He's like, yeah. I think I knew who this used to belong to. About a week and a half ago, man named where'd it go? Man named Rufus Mortimer used to own this. His daughter died of some kind of sickness, some disease. He used to be high executioner of the place. One of them high ups in the Flanders clergy. And his daughter died. He wasn't quite the same after. Well, the forest came back and relinquished his title.
Zuma's like looking at it just kind of side-eyed now. He's like,
That was the little girl with a split mask, yeah.
That was the little girl with the split mask.
What was his daughter's name?
Never quite caught the. Wait, no, yeah, it was Dahlia.
Yeah, I think.
Daughter's name was Dahlia. She took the illness suddenly.
Dahlia Mortimer. Bisected. Yep, that's the one we have. Sorry, that was me talking, not saying that out loud. Because
Could have been maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It was kind of talk of the town when I got here.
what did Rufus look like?
I don't know. The only time I caught sight of him, looked kind of down and out. You know what I'm saying?
Any scars?
Well, the man definitely looked like he'd seen some combat or something. I heard he was part of the Eyes. You know, the Eyes of Lathander. Maybe done some undead hunting out in the forest beforehand.
If we need to find him, what does he look like though? What race is he?
Well, he's a human. I could even point you in the direction of his house if you want.
Sure. Do you have a map of this place?
Boy, do I wish I had a map of this place. It seemed like more detail than I wanted to get into, you know what I'm saying? So I can
Tune
guide
in
you
next
there.
time.
Yeah, I can guide you there. You could, or even to the inn, then drop your stuff off, and I could take you to him. But
Give us the Google Map directions.
well, I'll tell you what. If you run down yonder and you take a left at the such and such, and you go down to the courtyard, it's got that big old statue, and you go further down there, and then you turn left, and that's where his house is.
Oh, okay. I remember it.
Otherwise, I could show you.
All of a sudden, I feel compelled to take the keen mind feat now.
Well, we have 2 leads, and besides that, we can do a little bit of investigating, trying to listen on people's conversations and whatnot, see what else we can learn. I feel it's best to go find this inn, find a place to keep low.
It's like nighttime now, right? Or approaching nighttime?
It's actually about like mid-afternoon right now.
But sun's starting to go down because that's about the time that it sets here, right? Because you said like 3 to 4.
Yeah, so like it's getting, the sun is getting low in the sky, and given the higher hills and mountains, like
Okay.
it will get dark here
Okay.
sooner than later. Any other questions? Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I say go to inn. At least get rooms. If we're not going to stay in them, just get them so we have them future. Maybe listen on conversations there.
I agree.
All right. With no objections, I'll say you guys travel your way. I will say that Agent Kovu leads you guys out in that direction. He just says, "Stay with me and stay close. Just try not to draw attention to yourselves." You know what I'm saying? The only reason I recognize you is because you got a metal man with you.
We don't all look the same.
Well, you don't get too many people made of metal out here, you know. So,
Also, your footsteps are very loud.
also, I was watching on one gate where you guys might have come from, so robot, gate, ocean, it all adds up. Anyway, follow me. He leads you out to... Sorry, my notes are so long, I have to scroll up. He leads you out to... Nope, that's Manus. Moon something. Rising Moon. Leads you to the Rising Moon Inn, where you are able to find room, board. Do you guys all stay in one room? Do you split rooms? How do you guys want to do this?
What's the price?
Long story short, it's about 5 silver a night.
How many beds are in each room?
2.
I will room with you, Zoom.
That's cool with me.
I think I'm able to opt out of a room and just hang out in like the lounge area. Or say
I'll
6
put the
hours
2
or so.
gold out. I'll forward the 2 gold for the 4 rooms.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Pick a
There's
pick a dance partner to room with, and you've
We're
got
zoom in.
enough space for each of you.
Be with Dreek.
I'll go with God damn it, why can't I think of his name right now? With Vulcan. I was like, he won't mind, mate. He's just a metal guy, and I'm just a singing guy.
So Kaz and Batter together.
I guess it leaves me with you, bud.
Not like we've never done this before.
Hey, keep your hands to yourself this time.
Oh, I'll behave.
Oh, behave.
Behave.
I normally
All
sleep
right.
standing up, but tonight I will sleep with my tails between my leg. My tail between my legs. Sorry.
My tail's
Wait, Dreek only has one leg? He has
Has
2
a full
tails and
leg.
1 leg. Does that mean the leg is where
Surprise.
the tail would be? Anyway, and he's just like 2 snake tails. Anyway,
They just hop.
2
his
tails and
legs.
1 leg behind.
like a Final Fantasy Lamia or something, except there's 2.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, with that, I think we're going to end for the evening. Welcome to Hinterwood, and we can get into this nice and proper.
Proper.
All right. Well, thanks for DMing, good sir.
Thank you very
Absolutely.
much.
Playing. Thank you for asking
Thank you,
all the
Matt
right
/
questions and
Kaz.
being interested.
Hey.
The boy.
Hit me.
Very interesting.
Nice. All right, gentlemen.
I'm so interested.
That was fun.
Yes, sir.
I'm so interested.
Well, good night, boys.
God.
Boy.
All
good
right.
night.
Have a great night.
Good night, everybody. Good game. Thanks for
GG's.
watching, everyone. Please
Thanks
follow.
for joining us.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
I love you, Ross.
Ah.